Okay, students. So this is lecture number 9. Just complete up to lecture number 8. Then only just come for lecture number 9. Okay. So we have gone through the industry portion in lecture number 8. So industry was being bifurcated like this: industry, then primary industry, secondary, tertiary. Primary, from that it is being divided into two parts, that is extractive and genetic. Secondary, that is manufacturing and construction. Under manufacturing there are four other categories, that are analytical, synthetical, processing and assembly. And construction is no other categories are there. In tertiary sector also no other categories are there. So you have to remember this chart and you have to answer the questions if the question comes from the industry. Okay. Now, let us come through another point, another issue. The Make in India initiative. What was that? The Make in India initiative, it is one of the initiative like a campaign. Okay. It was launched on 25th of September 2014 with the objective of job creation and skill enhancement in 25 sectors of the economy. In 25 sectors of the economy, this has been launched, and to transform India into a global design and manufacturing hub. This was the main initiative. Is about India jumped to 77th place out of 190 countries. Out of 190 countries, India ranked 77 in the World Bank's 2018. 25 sectors of the economy were as follows. There were 25 sectors of the economy that it has been told already. Automobile components, aviation, biotechnology, chemicals, construction. These are not much more important. You don't have to remember all these 25 sectors, the names of the 25 sectors. Just know about it, that what was the Make in India initiative was. It's know about its major objectives, that's it. The major objective behind this initiative is to focus upon the heavy industries and public enterprises while generating employment in India. What about the public enterprise and all? We will come in the next chapter. Okay. The main objective was to facilitate the investment, innovation. Innovation means something new, that is something new creation. Enhancement of skills development, to develop the skill of the workers, the employees. Protect the intellectual properties, and to build best in class manufacturing infrastructure. Okay. And if you know what is intellectual property, then I will say that it is like the trademark, copyrights which are being used by the companies. It's a kind of intangible asset. That is, those assets which cannot be touched or can be seen are known as intangible assets, as you have read in accountancy paper. So it is that only. Intellectual property is about the patents, copyrights, those intangible assets which are essential for the business entity. That if I am a company, I am making a particular product, I am making a particular mobile, that mobile name cannot be used by any other company. For example, Motorola, that cannot be used by me when I am making another mobile of my own. I cannot use the name Motorola. So that are known as intellectual property. Okay. Now Make in India initiative, I have told you. Then you just see about the business. Again, it has been bifurcated just to make it easier. Industry, then extractive, manufacturing, genetic, construction, assembly, service, all were there. Under trade and commerce, you have remember trade and aids to trade, that is auxiliaries to trade. Under trade, again the inland trade can be there, foreign trade can be there. Under foreign, there is import and export. Import means whenever you are just bringing the goods from outside, you are purchasing the goods from outside India, it is known as import. And when you are selling the goods to outside India, that is known as export. Auxiliaries to trade, I have already made understand you that banking, transporting, insurance, warehousing, mercantile agent, all are there. So what are mercantile agent? I have made understand also once again. It means a mercantile agent having in the customary course of business. As such, agent authority either to sell goods or to consign goods for the purpose of sale. For example, I am just assigning some goods to Mr. B, that on behalf of me, you just sell these goods to the public. Or you, on behalf of me, you just buy these goods for me. Or to raise money as well. For example, that I have given a security that if I am taking your home, your house as the security, or your this plant or furniture or machinery as my security, until and unless you will just pay me the amount of the goods I have sold to you, I will just keep it with me. If you don't able to pay that amount to me, then I will sell that goods. So for that raising the money, I can use the mercantile agent. It's like an agent, a third party who will just act on behalf of me. Agent who a principal authorizes, here I will be the principal and the agent who is working for me. Okay. Now you just see that these are the points that has been just briefly discussed in the first chapter. As we will go for the next lessons, as we will complete class 11, you will come to know all about this. Okay. So what are the objectives of business? Now it is important. There are economic objectives, there are social objectives. You can say here economic objectives are those that you can answer now itself on your own. Earning the profit, to stand in the market, that is called market standing. Innovation means to create new things. A business cannot go without creating new things. It cannot sustain in the market without creating new things. Optimum utilization of resources. You have land. What are the main resources? There are 4 main resources. Just remember. Land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. So here these are 4 resources. If you are not utilizing your employees efficiently, utilizing your labor efficiently, what will happen? If there are a need of 20 laborers, and in that case you are using 50 laborers, then extra you have to pay wages for the 30 labor. Extra payment will be there. So extra cost you will be incurring for that. So that you can use the labor, land, capital, whatever in your hand, entrepreneurship, that is your ownership, efficiently. That is known as the optimum utilization of resources. Another is improving the productivity. Until and unless you can improve the productivity, you can improve the capacity of production, it will be not worthy. Okay. Social objectives, you can say quality goods and service at fair price. Suppose you are going to buy anything in the market. For example, you have went to buy a mobile cell phone. So now the cell phone, that person is demanding, the retailer is demanding 10,000 rupees from you, but this is not a quality phone. If you just move on to the another brand, you can see that at 5,000 rupees the same qualities are available which you were purchasing at 10,000 rupees. So what mobile you will purchase? Which brand you will purchase? You will just purchase that mobile which is costing what? 5,000 only. That mobile which is costing 10,000 you will not purchase if you are getting all those characteristics in that mobile of 5,000. Whatever the characteristics there are in that mobile of 10,000. So the quality goods and services will be there at fair price. The pricing should be fixed in such a way so that it should not be higher than the market price, or it should not be higher than the desired one, the desired quality. Next, avoidance of antisocial and unfair trade practices. It will be trade. Okay. If you are doing unfair trade practices, just for example, you went, this is trade. Okay. Now just take one example, that you went to a shop, from there you went to buy a cloth. Okay, or a jeans. That particular person demanded 1000 rupees from you for the jeans. Again, another person went there. That particular person demanded from him 400 for the jeans. So he has demanded 600 more from you. Is that a good trade practice? It is not a good trade practice. He is using fraudulent means. So that should not be there. That should be avoided. Generation of employment. Employment generation is very much important, because until and unless there will be more employment opportunities, there cannot be an equality in the nation, as you have learned in social study, in economics, in class 10, I hope. Employee welfare should be there. Everyone should be treated nicely. Every worker should be treated nicely. Undue pressure, undue influence should not be given to them. And community service, that is work for the community. Maybe some donations to the schools, okay, for the poor children, likewise. So here, what is the meaning of innovation? Now come in depth. Innovation is the introduction of the new ideas or methods in the way something is done or made. That is known as creativity. You are including new ideas. Suppose you are making a project for your school. You are making a project. There you can use different kinds of graphs, different kinds of stickers to make it more attractive. Like when in our school, the different boards are decorated. What happened? Then we use new ideas to decorate it better than the other boards. We use our most efficient means to decorate it. So that is the new ideas or methods that should be used, is known as innovation. Innovation is the important factor in the survival of the business entity. If you don't do innovation, if you cannot change the packaging of your product, if you cannot introduce the new ingredient in your product, then you cannot sustain in this market, because some other competitors will come and snatch away this opportunity from you. They will produce much more better products than you. Then you cannot stand in the market. Here, market standing, it refers to the position of an enterprise in relation to its competitors. What is your position in relation to your competitor? Where do you stand? How much is your market segment? How many customers do come in your shop to buy the product from you? A business enterprise must aim at standing on stronger footing in terms of offering competitive products to its customers and serving them to their satisfaction. So you have to offer competitive products, that is something better product. So somehow that the product should be better one. Productivity and efficiency, this objective is central to profit maximization. In order to ensure continuous survival and progress, every enterprise must aim at greater productivity through the best use of available resources. Whatever will be the resources in your hand, each and every enterprise should aim at greater productivity with that resources only. Okay. So this was lecture number 9. Just after completion of the lecture number 9, you will move forward for lecture number 10.